Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Hey there, Middle Georgia. I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda Peralta is off tonight. We want to thank you for watching WGXA News at 5:30. We start off with breaking news, the announcement that U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed David Weiss special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden at Weiss's request. Now, Hunter Biden was prepared to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax crimes last month, but a judge did not agree to the terms. Biden then pleaded not guilty. There have been questions about that probe and about Hunter Biden's business dealings. Garland explained what this means for the ongoing investigations.
This appointment confirms my commitment to provide Mr. Weiss all the resources he requests. It also reaffirms that Mr. Weiss has the authority he needs to conduct a thorough investigation and to continue to take the steps he deems appropriate independently, based only on the facts and the law.
Republicans previously asserted that the Justice Department refused Weiss special counsel status. Weiss himself disputed that. Weiss will remain in his role as U.S. Attorney for Delaware, where he's been investigating the president's son since 2019. Congressional Republicans are separately investigating the president's son, alleging his father was involved in foreign business deals. So far, no evidence has directly linked President Biden, who denies any involvement. It's a weather-worn day, and it is so because of the heat. And Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett joins us now. And Ryan, I understand we're in for some very hot weather this weekend.
Absolutely, and that weather warning goes into effect tomorrow and will continue through Monday. Heat advisory for tomorrow across all of Middle Georgia from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. A heat advisory for Middle Georgia. The temperature, the feels-like temperature, has to approach 105 and stay there, and that's what we're going to be dealing with at times throughout the afternoon tomorrow. Could climb as high as 106 or 107, and again, that's tomorrow. Unfortunately, I think Sunday will be our hottest day, but this evening we've got a few thunderstorms to talk about, a few severe thunderstorms. In fact, a severe thunderstorm watch across our southwestern counties until 8 p.m., but mainly the storms are staying south and west of Americus, down towards Sumter County as well as Crisp County. Rain and thunderstorms ongoing. Those continue to drop off towards the south. Telfair County, you had a storm earlier that has moved over into southern Wheeler as well as Montgomery County. For the rest of us, just light rain, but most locations are staying cool. But as we look at what we're expecting, storms wind down tonight. Dangerous weekend heat levels, they're going to be here, and that's why we're going with those weather-worn days tomorrow through Monday. And I'll let you know just how hot it could be Sunday and Monday coming up in Maine weather.
Thank you, Mr. Stinnett. Now's a great time to download that WGXA weather app. Scan the QR code on your screen, and it will go straight to your smart device or phone. Ryan is back shortly with your full forecast. Tensions escalate at Cirrus Academy in Macon as a growing dispute between the school's governing board and its superintendent has led to the institution's failure to meet state obligations in the final year of its 2-year probationary charter contract with the State Charter Schools Commission. The animosity came to a head recently when Cirrus employees and community leaders demanded the resignation of board members, accusing them of disregarding students' welfare. The school facing challenges such as financial and operational compliance since its 2016 opening has recently achieved the state commission's academic standards. However, operational and financial concerns persist, and the dispute threatens the school's future with the possibility of state closure looming as its probationary charter contract nears its end. Parents in one local school system say they want students to have their personal cell phones with them in case of emergency situations. And we want your thought on that topic. Should students have access to cell phones at school? Scan the QR code on your screen right now to vote in our interactive poll. Our Gloria Ruth Finney is live in the studio after speaking with some Dodge County parents who say they're upset with the school staff for punishing students for having them when they aren't allowed. Gloria Ruth?
Greg, they say the student handbook is written just so vaguely, yet somehow specific at the same time, that the rules seem up for the discretion of the school staff. Parents of students say they just don't know what to think, other than they feel angry. For instance, pertaining to the phones, the guidelines state students must have the phones turned off when they get to school. but it also states students can't have them on their person. However, apparently there are no lockers at Dodge County High School, so where can students keep their phones in the event they need to suddenly contact a parent or guardian, or even 911? Aside from being overly strict, some say the rules are flat out an invasion of privacy, but for the students and those who pay the phone bill.
If you give them your phone, they take your phone, they want your password so they can get into your phone, so they can inspect whatever's in your phone. If you don't give them the password, you're in more trouble.
Parents say they're forced to pay cash to the school to get the phones back. However, one school administrator tells me that is no longer the case. I'll have more from those parents and the Dodge County High School principal tonight at 11 on ABC 16. In the meantime, live in the studio, Gloria Ruth Finney, WGXA News.
Gloria Ruth, thank you. And your story there certainly has people talking. In fact, those numbers have been changing quite a lot this afternoon. Should students have access to cell phones at school? Well, the overwhelming majority say no, 64% right now, at 36% say yes. We want to hear what you think, so scan the QR code right now and vote in our interactive poll. A Georgia teacher is under fire for reading a controversial book to students. Michelle Newell reports from the tribunal who may terminate her job in Cobb County.
The Teach for Freedom collective made their presence known inside of a hearing that will determine the future of Katie Rinderly's career as a Cobb County school district teacher.
I'm feeling for Katie a lot. I think she shows a great deal of courage. She was just trying to do her job.
During cross-examination, Rinderly was asked to read the description of My Shadow is Purple, a book she read to her 5th grade class in March.
This story considers gender beyond binary and a vibrant spectrum of color.
The district says Rinderly violated district policy and Georgia's divisive concepts law.
This was a book that I purchased with my funds at the school's book fair, and I previewed the book, and I used my professional judgment.
We did in fact establish that students weren't comfortable with the content that was discussed that day.
During the hearing, Rinderly's attorney said the district isn't being transparent about what it found during the investigation, particularly the number of students who were interviewed.
There's no way for us to know that those are 4 additional students. It's just simply impossible that the district has insisted on giving us these redacted records.
These subsequent students, as shown by the emails, were follow-up students that were probed by the school. That's why they're not in the summary of findings.
Meanwhile, a federal judge in Atlanta heard conflicting testimony about the safety and benefit of hormone therapy to treat adolescents struggling with their gender identity. Sarah Judge Garrity held a meeting on Thursday, or a hearing rather, to gather evidence before deciding whether to block a Georgia law that bans most gender-affirming surgeries and hormone replacement therapies for transgender people under 18. Now, the law, which was passed this year by the Republican majority in the General Assembly, took effect in July. The parents of 4 transgender girls have filed a lawsuit challenging its constitutionality. Plaintiffs' experts said Thursday in court that hormone therapy was a great benefit to adolescents with gender dysphoria. Defense experts said better studies were needed. Transgender issues are also igniting some of the most heated debates, but polling shows one side has an overwhelming support from Americans. Now, national correspondent Kayla Gaskins has more on this contentious debate from Washington.
After collegiate swimmer Riley Gaines tied at the 2022 NCAA Swimming and Diving National Championships with 6'4" transgender woman Leah Thomas.
So set for the final in the 200-yard freestyle.
She set out to shed light on what she sees as a gross injustice in women's sports.
It was like, hold on, this is exactly what Title IX was passed to prevent.
While those on the political left are more likely to support trans athletes, Gaines says she's increasingly feeling support from both sides.
The support from the left, it's actually been pretty overwhelming. You know, your typical original meaning of a feminist. These women who are so baffled by the way Democrats and the left are handling these issues, who once championed themselves on fighting for women and protecting women.
Data shows most Americans support banning trans athletes from competition. According to a recent Gallup poll, nearly 70% of American adults say birth gender should be the deciding factor in sports, not gender identity. Gallup's polling shows a 7-point increase in this viewpoint over the past 2 years.
It shows even the majority of Democrats know this lunacy, especially as it pertains to sports, is wrong.
Leah Thomas telling Vice News her story has been weaponized by those against trans rights.
It's really heartbreaking to see that my story and my experience be used to harm other trans kids. But everybody just seemingly wanted to focus on this big supposed controversy of it all, rather than focus on the human element of being trans.
The White House standing firm in their support of trans athletes, enshrining protections for LGBTQ plus competitors into changes to Title IX slated to take effect this October. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Now to local crime. The Circle K on Thomaston Road was robbed this morning for the second time in 2 months, making it the 9th Circle K robbery this year in Macon. Deputies say 3 masked men came into the store. One of them held the clerk at gunpoint and demanded money. Once they got the cash, they ran off. This robbery comes just 8 days after the Circle K robbery on Pierce Avenue. If you have information on any of these robberies, you're asked to call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Continuing coverage tonight, the capture of a fugitive on Allen Road leads to an animal rescue. This man, a resident of where the fugitive was caught, was taken into custody after Bibb County deputies found several drugs and guns in the house. But get this, not only that, they found this, a stolen racehorse that was severely malnourished, along with other neglected dogs and chickens. Now, all the animals were taken to the Sheriff's Animal Welfare Unit. A woman at the residence is also facing animal cruelty charges. 2 wanted people are now behind bars after stealing a car. Deputies received a tip of a home in the Bloomfield area that had a stolen car from a Meade Road business. Deputies discovered these 2 people at that residence had outstanding warrants. Both are facing multiple charges. Perry police need your help identifying the truck you're about to see caught on home surveillance destroying property. Officers say a gray Ford F-150 Super Crew drove through a neighborhood last week, hitting other vehicles before peeling out in someone's yard. They say the truck should be leaking fluids and have damage to its front end. If you have any information, please call the Perry Police Department.
August is moving by quickly, and so is the hurricane season. So far this year, we've had about 4 storms up to dawn. None have really made any big impacts. However, we still have the bulk of hurricane season to go through the end of August and September. So looking out over the conditions, we still have very high above average sea surface temperatures. In fact, the Atlantic is record-breakingly warm right now, and that normally favors tropical development. However, we also still have El Nino in effect through the equatorial Pacific. This usually brings more wind shear to the tropics, which normally cuts off the top of the storms and disables some of that tropical development. So with these conditions set up, NOAA has updated their hurricane season forecast, now calling for an above average season. 14 to 21 named storms, 6 to 11 hurricanes, and 2 to 5 major hurricanes. Remember though, it only takes 1 bad storm to make it a bad year.
We'll keep an eye on the tropics as we're going to be dealing with the heat levels this weekend. Again, weather-worn days tomorrow through Monday because we're going to be dealing with those dangerous heat levels. Tomorrow we're going to have a heat index over 105. It could be near or over 110 by the time we get to Sunday. That's why we have heat alerts in effect. And of course, we always say stay cool and stay hydrated this weekend if you can. Here's that heat advisory for tomorrow. Now, this is just for tomorrow. This is 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. As we head through the day tomorrow, it's going to be blistering hot across much of middle Georgia. But again, it's going to be even hotter on Sunday. The heat index gets above 110 on Sunday. We'll likely have an excessive heat warning, and we already have an excessive heat watch. This will become an excessive heat warning. Again, this is for Sunday, and this could continue into Monday as well. Those are the 3 days we're really focusing on that threat for those dangerous heat levels. But again, it's August in middle Georgia. You know what to do. Stay cool, stay hydrated, drink lots of water, and try to limit your time outdoors, especially during the peak heating of the day. Not too bad outside this evening across much of middle Georgia. We had those morning rain and storms. We've had those continue through the evening hours. Currently 79 degrees in downtown Macon. All week long it's been generally in the 90s. I will take a relatively comfortable Friday evening. Now again, we do have storms across middle Georgia, really southwest Georgia. Good news is the severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled for our southwestern counties. So again, we're done with the severe storms in southwest Georgia or in our viewing area. Then as we head through the day tomorrow, mainly quiet and calm. Some models are trying to develop strong thunderstorms tomorrow night dropping into middle Georgia. We'll have to watch this very carefully. Again, big heat will mean big storms, and we do have the threat for some stronger storms across portions of middle Georgia tomorrow. Again, it's that level 1 threat. We'll keep an eye on it, not too concerned. A lot of the other models are suggesting we stay dry and calm tomorrow. But again, rain chances not too promising tomorrow and Sunday. It's going to be blistering hot. That is the main story. We do get a front coming through late Monday and into Tuesday that will bring better rain chances. As we look at your 10-day forecast, again, weather warned days tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Actual air temperatures flirting with the century mark. It's not going to be 94 overnight. That would be downright miserable. But again, scattered storms will remain in the forecast. And again, that's why we have that weather warn going the next 3 days, as those dangerous heat levels will be possible. You can always scan the WGXA Skywatch weather up and download it for your smartphone or device. It'll keep you informed and up to date with the changing forecast. And your Harrison's Body Shop Fishing Game forecast has multiple peaks in the good range tomorrow.
Healthcare will soon be closer to home for Fort Valley State University students. Atrium Health Navison is teaming up with the university to bring health services on campus this fall. The health clinic will be inside the Florence J. Hunt Wellness Center. It offers in-person primary care providers or telehealth services.
Previously, our students would have to leave campus if they didn't have transportation. That made it a little difficult, particularly when they're sick. And so being able to get all of their services taken care of right here on campus is a huge advantage.
And our partnership with Fort Valley has really achieved both of those goals. We provided campus health, or we will be providing campus health services to students, but also to faculty and staff, and we'll make it right here on our campus, so bringing our professionals here to provide both physical and behavioral health services.
Atrium also plans to start health services at Central Georgia Technical College this fall. It's our favorite time of the week. It's time to see who Carlos Stevens highlighted as a game changer for this week for their work in sports, the classroom, and most importantly in the community. Carlos joins us from Bleckley County to tell us who this week's game changer is.
It's the wide receiver Marcus Newsom from right here at Bleckley County High School, and he told me his reason for giving back is simply inspired by his support system.
My mama, she keep me motivated too, but like staying grounded in God.
Many may know Marcus Newsom as the top receiver for the Bleckley County Royals. And while he creates some of the best highlights on the field, his real highlights are in the community. Newsom volunteers service hours with his school beta club, helping teachers prep their classrooms. He also helps senior citizens at the local senior citizens retirement home and volunteers as a media team member at his church. Newsom says he looks to show love for one simple reason.
Life is hard.
And while Newsom knows there can be a curveball thrown in life, his head football coach, Von Lassiter, says Newsom has the right attitude to combat anything. And that's what makes Newsom a game changer beyond the field.
Well, he's willing to do the things that game changers do. You know, I mean, he's willing to work, he's willing to study, he's willing to be on time, he's willing to pick kids up, he's willing to go to church.
But Newsom says there's no lacking on the field either.
When the ball in my hand, I can do some damage.
We're going to bust it down the right side. That's Newsom. Newsom, gone. All the way to the house.
Damage that coach has seen for himself.
Back to his sophomore year, he caught a big pass to win the game at the end of the first round playoff game, and he's done some things like that over and over again.
However, Newsom says his message to other athletes is a game bigger than football.
I just want to show people like you can go to the next level, but you don't have to go to the NFL or nothing like that. But you can, get an education, come back and do good.
And that is your game changer of the week. Congrats, Marcus. Central Georgia, as always, if you know an athlete impacting their community through volunteer work, simply send their names my way. For now, reporting in Bleckley County, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA Sports.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I am Gary Thigpen. I'm again here today at the Jones County Animal Services in Jones County. And again, I'm joined today with Jennifer and Jacqueline. And guess who we have today that we're going to tell you about?
Yes, today we have Athena. She's an Old English bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
She's around 3 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
She's been here the longest, so she's our longest resident.
We got to find her a good home.
She loves to play with her food and water bowl. Loves to give kisses. She's super sweet and would love to find her new forever home.
So let's go ahead. Look at this beautiful girl. How could you not just look at Athena and not want to just come down and get her right now? So Jennifer, if someone would like to give Athena a good home, how would they do that?
Come to the office located at 1015 Monticello Highway, and we will get you all set up for her new home.
All right, let's take care of that today. Let's find this sweet baby a really good home. She deserves it. She's been the longest resident here, and she's ready to get out of here and find a good home.
WGXA is proud to help Middle Georgia families struggling with diaper access this summer. As a part of our local Sinclair Cares initiative, we're hosting our diaper drive to help out local families. You can make a difference by scanning the QR code on your screen to make a financial donation, or you can head to one of 7 donation bins found at Kroger locations across Middle Georgia and Vineville Baptist to drop off diapers. All proceeds will stay local and benefit the Colby Center right here in Macon. Happening this weekend, a picnic in the park, as food trucks will be catering at Carroll and Creighton Park tomorrow. 15 food trucks will bring a variety of food and drinks, including wine from Gel Creek Farms Winery and frozen treats from Macon Water Ice. The event starts at 11 in the morning and ends at 4 in the afternoon. It's free, and everyone is invited to bring lawn chairs and blankets to sprawl out and enjoy some good food and enjoy the day. And happening this weekend, the Museum of Aviation will have its Middle Georgia STEM City Expo tomorrow. That event will have a wide range of interactive activities that will spark the curiosity and imagination. The expo is free and will run from 9 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. That event is open to the public. No registration is required. In high school, Ryan Sennett, that you were very involved probably in STEM activities, just because you're a scientist now.
Wasn't that back then? It was just.
What'd you call it?
We didn't have STEM back then.
No, they even had STEM back when I was in high school. They didn't have
but
STEAM,
I'm much
but they
older
had
than
STEM. You are not.
I know. I just wanted to hear you
Oh
say
my
that.
gosh. And I fell right into it,
Yeah,
too.
science, geography, history. I love that kind of stuff. Math is actually one of my better subjects, and I hate it now. But you
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I never cared for it that much, but I thank God there are people who do. And that's it for WGXA News at 5:30. We invite you to join us on ABC 16 at 6.
Don't forget you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel anytime. Have an amazing Friday evening, Middle Georgia.